Hello, hello students. Welcome back to the C programming lecture series. I Kirti Sharma. I'm working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Today in this lecture, we will discuss about the strings concept. So, what introductory part of the string, then string constraint, string variables, various string functions that we will discuss, like character input output functions, and we know very well the collection of characters is itself a string, right? So character input output functions and string input output functions that we will discuss. Okay, so let's start with the introductory part of the string. So here, this is the string are represented by arrays of characters actually. So arrays of characters is a string. So if you will collect the array like same element character elements in the form of arrays, then it is known as string. So end of the string is marked by with a special character, that is a null character, and which is simply the character with value 0. Nothing is there in that, so null character will be there. So null or string terminated character, you can say, is represented by the escape sequence /0, this one. Okay, so this symbol represents the null character and it work as a terminated character in the string. After each and every string, last one position is reserved for this particular character. So this is escape sequence and this is a terminated character in a string. So string are used to manipulate the text and words, sentences. So various constant and variables are there for the string. So what about the string constants? String constant is a sequence of characters enclosed by double quotes. That means whatever is written in the double quotes, it completely as a string, that is a constant. User can take this particular sequence of characters as a constant here. So this is known as the string constant if you have written some text in between the double quotes. Okay, so whatever you can write here, like this one is also a string constant. What about the string variable? String variable is basically an array of characters that you can change, like just for example, we have taken the variables as a constant and variables, right? Constant and like constant variables, the value is static fixed, you cannot change that value, and in variable case, like value can change at the runtime. So string variable is an array of characters. So declaration part of the string variable is, first you have to write the char is a data type here that you have written here, because we have taken here the array of some size. String name will be there. What it's mean? The collection of the characters. So that is called as a string itself. Now that's why we have taken the char as a data type. So compiler automatically supplies a null character /0 at the end of the string, right? So how it will proceed, like size of this particular string, size should be equal to the maximum number of characters in the string plus 1. Whatever the size you will give, maximum length of the string plus 1 will be the size, because plus 1 is in size extra block segment from the memory is present for the null character. Each and every time it will remain same. Okay, so next we have some representation and declaration part about the string. So here char is a data type, name is the string name, and 25 is the size. So name string variable length having the 25 length, right? This is size is representing the length. So what is the, like this 25 is there, so how much size it will take? 26, because one extra for the escape sequence. Same here, char is a data type, address is a variable, 90 is a like size. So what it will be, it is a length 90 here, right? So here initialization during declaration, here we have declared name string with char data type and 12 its length. So we have initialized it with a name like Amira Gupta. What is the length of this name? 1 2 3 4 5. Space will also count as a length. 6 7 8 9 10 11. So total how many elements are the length is there? 11. So 11 plus 1 is 4 what? Escape sequence or null character. So 12 is the length here, right? Same here, either you can write the complete string within the double quotes, or you can write the single letters within the single alphabet. So it will be considered as a character. So single character you can write as a single quote. Either this is also true and or this one was also true. So you can write complete string or collection of characters within the double quotes. So both are the initialization and declaration part. Either you can declare it separately, or you can declare during the initialization and declaration you can do simultaneously. It's up to you. So whatever way you like, you can apply, right? So next we have some input and output strings of data. So how to provide the input and output of the string data? So using the scanf and printf function, we can do the same thing. Like you can provide the string input and string output. So by using the scanf and printf. So how can we use like declaration part of the string, and how to provide the input to the string? So using scanf, you have to use the percentage s as a access modifier here. So it's specifying here s stands for string. So in order to give the string like value for the of the string data type, so you have to use the access modifier as percentage s. Okay, but here you cannot write the data type as a string. So you have to write to char. Why is it so? Because you are taking the array here. So array is a collection of characters only, right? So name is for input, like in this variable you have to provide the input here, right? So %, you can write here, so to provide the address at during the by using the scanf function. Okay, so in the case of string, ampersand sign is not required here, right? In case of other variables, you have to write the ampersand symbol. Here I have not written the ampersand symbol. Why? Because make a note of this thing, it's not mandatory to write this ampersand sign in case of what? String variable. So if you are providing the input of the string data type, then there is no need of the ampersand symbol here, right? So what is the major problem here regarding this? So there is a problem like with the scanf function, it is that it terminates its input on the first white space, blank tape, new line, or template or formulated. Right? What it means, it finds like if you are entering a number, supplying the input as Amit Kumar. So there it's complete as a string, right? Amit Kumar. But if you will insert this string by using the scanf, whenever it gets this particular white space, blank space, it will terminate it after printing the Amit only. It will not go to read the next letter like K, U, M, R. It will skip it completely because this white space, it will terminate it whenever it will say it will see the white space, right? So if you are writing the characters in a sequence or continuous manner, then only it will print. That is a major limitation of the scanf in case of the strings. To remove this drawback or to solve this problem, we have the different functions like gets, puts. So for the scanf and printf, so we will discuss those later. So before that, we have printf also. Like for printf, same thing we have to do, like specify, you have to write percentage as name. It will provide you the output. So we can also supply the precision with which string is displayed. For example, we can write the 15.4. What it means, it is giving the length of the string. So first, what it means, like first 4 characters in a string of size 15 here. So decimal point 4.4, it will not reflect here. So if it is it will be 0.6 15.6, then it will round off by 16 only. So it's up to the user, like if 15.4 is used, like length is the 15 here that we are representing here. So you can use as like this only. So this is an example to get the better clarity regarding scanf and printf. What it means here, we have taken the name1 as a string array of characters, name1 array and name2 array, right? So with the help of scanf, we are providing the name1 and name2 input here and printing the same thing. Name1 is this, /n escape sequence is for the next line. In next line, what will be print? Name2 is this. So name1 value will come over here in place of this percentages, and name2 value will come here, right? So what it will print, if with the help of scanf, we have given the values like Amit space, this one value is provided with respect to the name1 Name1 variable and name2 variable is this name2 variable, right? So name1 is Amit, name2 is Shivank. It will print as it is, right? So this is the method, like how to use the scanf and printf in case of string, right? So next we have the string functions, right? String functions, the basic string functions that we can use here. C compiler provides a large number of library functions for manipulating the strings at the top of the any source file, and any source file where we are using the standard library functions handling like std.h, stadio.h, conio.h, math.h. As like same, we have header file for the string.h for strings. So it is predefined header file, like to use the functionalities of the string that are defined in the C library. So string.h is also a header file, so which contains the external declaration of these functions, right? What are those functions that we will discuss now, right? So we will discuss the different functions with respect to the strings. strlen function. This particular function is used to calculate the string length, right? So here this particular function counts and returns the number of characters in a string, right? The null character will also is not counted here in while counting the string length. So if you will count the string length, it will skip null character, last value of the string. So what is the declaration part here? You have to write like it is optional. You are taking the any variable in order to get the value or not taking. Directly you can return this particular part also. So it's optional. So integral value will be there. So we are taking a variable n of integer type in order to take the resultant value. Whatever it will be there, it will store in n, and you can use this n further rather than writing this complete thing. So what it will do here, strlen is a function. Here we have returned the parameter that is string. So whatever is the string that you have to write over here, either with the help of variable or directly you can write the string over here. With the help of double quotes, you can write the complete string in order to calculate the length of that string, right? So now we will see some example to get the clarity about it. So same thing here. We have some header files, stadio.h, conio.h. If you are using the strings here, strings functionality, strlen, then it is important to write the header file regarding string.h. Otherwise, it will not be known, because strlen is we know already that this function is used in order to calculate or to count the length of the string. It is defined in the C library itself. The user is not defining this thing that this function is used to count the length of the string. It is already predefined, so its definition is already there in the header file. That's why in order to use these functions, it is mandatory to include the header file. If you will not include it, compiler will show an error like unknown function is there, right? So compiler don't know the path where it is defined or not. So it will be like unknown value, unknown function for the compiler if you are not including the main base file of this regarding the string.h, right? So here we have taken the char as a data type, str this is an array, and n is a variable. So printf, what is doing? It is doing here, printf is taking printing the content here as it is. It will print enter a string, right? So it is a message only, within the double quotes it is written. It will show you on the console screen, output screen, as it is like enter a string. So gets is a function that we've already discussed into the like formatted, unformatted input output function. So gets, S stands for string, get is for input. We are not using the scanf here. You can, but we are not using here, because we know already the drawback of using the scanf, because it will terminate whenever it will get the white space or in the string, in between the string. So it will disconnect the complete string. So because of the drawback of the scanf functions, in case of strings, we are using the gets function here in order to take the input. So no need to take this access specifier here. You can directly use the variable name in order to provide the input. So this particular function will give work as the same like the scanf function. So in case of string, we are using the gets. Reason we know already. And is a variable, integer type variable. Why we have taken this? It's totally optional. Either you can directly use this particular line star strlen is the function for count the length of the string. Str is a variable. Whatever you will write here as an input, it will count the characters, but how many characters are there in the str variable, right? So last we are printing the length of the given string that we are storing in the n variable as an integer. That's why we have taken the %d. So what will be the output? There will be a message, enter a string. User ensured the Shivang as an input, right? Now this function will provide the length in a numeric value and it will store into the n, and we are printing the n value. What it will print here, the length of the given string is. So what is the count of this particular string? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it will write the 7 as a length of the string. So we already know one extra space is given to the string in order to provide the null character. So size of this particular string is 8. And what is the length? Length is the number of characters in the string is the length. So how many characters? 7 characters. So length is 7 and size is 8. So that we will distinguish later, like with the help of different examples. So let's move on the next function, strcpy, that is string copy. So if you want to copy the string, like one string into the another one, like a copy paste function itself. So same thing, if you are writing here strcpy function, you have to write here two strings. First is what you have to copy, like this string 2 value you want to copy into the string 1. So it assigns the content of the string 2 to the string 1, right? So this particular function is used to copy the values of one string to the another, and this can be your string constant or string variable. It's up to you. So now we're taking an example for string copy here. This is a program. Listen, each and every program that I am showing to you here, you can implement it in the editor also, so that will give you the better clarity. Here I'm explaining and you can implement it to get like if you have any confusion, it will be clear it out. To clear it out, you can implement it also. Here I am giving you the explanation how it is interpreting, right? So compiler work I'm dictating here. So it's not possible to do the same thing like if I'm using the editor and again coming back to the text, it will be very complicated. So you can do it yourself. If you are having any doubt, then we can just take the conversation for that also. Okay, so now I'm just showing here you an example for the string copy. Here s1 is a string that we have taken s1 21 Shivang as a given input. Constant values we are taking Shivang Goyal. So what is the printf here? Enter string 1. So percentage s string s, whatever is there as in the input in s1, it will show here. Whatever is the input in the s2, it will show here. We have provided the like constants here, string constant, not string variables. If you want to provide the string variables with the help of gets, you can provide like gets into s1 you can write. If you will write gets into s1, gets s2, then you can provide the input at the runtime also. Okay, so what we are doing here, printing both the values. Now we are applying the strcpy copy. Whatever is there in the s2, it will store into the s1, and last printf will be like we are printing here s1 value. If after copying, what it should be like in s2, what is there? Goel. In s1 also there should be Goel by replacing this Shivang value, right? After applying this operation. Now that's the thing we are seeing here. Enter the string. We have written Shivang here, right? If you're using the gets, then you can write it as like this, right? So enter string 1. So second string is Goel. And after this first string, after copying the second is Goel. So now what is there in the s1? By replacing this Shivang, we have the Goel as a s1 value, right? So it's all about the strcpy string copy function. Okay, so next we have strcmp, that is comparison, string comparison. In order to compare two strings, we have this function, right? So it will return 0 if both the strings are equal. If it returns negative number if the first string is alphabetically less than the second string, or a positive number if first string is greater than the second string. So comparison will be done on the basis of the length of the string, right? So see the example in order to get the clarity about this function. Here string 1 we have taken, this is the syntax to use it. String 1 and string 2, both are the strings, can be string constant or string variables, and they will get compared to each other, they are equal or not. right? So we have an example here. Void main char is a data type. S1, S2 we are taking two arrays here. Flag value we are taking as an integer here. So what is the main theme here? We are enter first string. With the help of gets input function, we are entering the value in the S1 as at the runtime dynamic. So enter the string to S2 we are entering. Flag is a like variable to store the count. Like it is 1, 0 or minus negative value, positive or 0. In order to comparison, like whatever is this function return, it will be stored into the flag itself, right? So S1 and S2, whatever we have written here, it will compare. If flag is not equals to 0, that means either it could be positive or negative. That means strings are not equal. If both flag is coming like equals to, then what it will be, like it's positive or negative, then you can say um, strings are not equal. If it equals to 0, then you can directly say strings are equal. So in one case, if you are getting the flag as a 0, then you can say strings are equal. So we have entered here, enter the first value as Amit, second value as also Amit. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both are equal, and so it will compare it the numeric values and it will say strings are equal, right? So next thing that we have is strcat. That is function that is you append the characters of the second string at the end of the first string. It will done actually. It appends the characters of the second string at the end of the first string, right? So there must be sufficient space available to accommodate incoming characters from destination string, otherwise overflow may occur, right? Write a note over here. It does not concatenate two strings together and give a third. No, it's not as like this. The syntax of this functionality is this. So to clear it out, this functionality, we have an example here. Those two strings we have taken, S1, S2, we have printed, like taken some input using the gets S1, gets S2, strcat, where we are applying the function here, S1 comma S2. What will be there in the output? First string after appending second is S1 we are printing here, right? So what it is, enter the first string Amit we have entered, enter the second string Kumar we have entered. So first string after appending second is, so we are printing here S1 only, not S2, right? So only printing with the S1, the S2 value is coming with the Amit Kumar. So Amit and Kumar, we have given the both the strings separately, but when we are printing after applying the operation, this function strcat, when we are printing the S1, then it is showing the complete Amit Kumar without any space. That means where the first string is over, where the second is connected with it. So by default, no need to just take print here S2 also. S1 is itself representing S2 also. That is the difference here. Like it's not concatenating, it's putting the last string 2 value at the last of the end of the string 1. So it was all about the strcat function. Next important one is strreb, that is reversing the string function. It will reverse a string. What it means, the syntax is, you can write here like single string is writing here, and you can reverse this particular string. That, like you have already done the program for the palindrome, right? What is a palindrome? If you have a number and you are reversing that number, you are getting the same number, like for 1 to 1, 1 to 1. If you are reversing this particular number, you again get 1 to 1. That means both are the same numbers. These are the palindrome numbers. Same as like this in the string also. If you are reversing a string, you are getting it as a same number, same string. Then you can say both are equal. So you can also write the program in order to check a string is palindrome or not. So here we have an example. Here we have an example to get the better clarity regarding this function strreb. So same thing we are doing here with the help of gets. S1 value we are providing here, and strcpy, we have already discussed this function. Like it will copy whatever is there in S1, it will copy it into the S2. We have not provided here input for the S2. S2 will get the same copy of the S1 here, right? Whatever we are providing here as input for S1, it will be same for the S2 also, because we are copying the content of S1 into S2. Now we are reversing the value, whatever it is there in the S2, we are reversing it. So we are putting here if condition and applying this function strcmp. This is the comparison function. We have already used this. What it will do, it will compare S1 and S2. Both are equal or not. If both are equal, then it will show equals to 0, because it will compare it numerically, the length it will compare, right? So we will see in like in output also how it will execute. If it is coming like equals to 0, then it will print string is palindrome, otherwise string is not palindrome. That is the only concept now. If you are getting the same string after reversing it, then it will give you what? It will give you, if you are reversing the string and you are getting the same string, then you can say it's a palindrome string, right? So what we are entering here, enter a string, reader, then string is a palindrome. Yes. If you are reversing this particular string, you are getting the same thing. Again run to, if you are again running it like Ankur you have entered, then it will show you string is not palindrome. So after reversing, like it will write R, U, K and A. Are both are them same or not? Not same. That's why it is known as like it's not a palindrome. It's not equals to 0. If you are taking it R, A, D, A, R. If you are reversing this particular string, then again it will come R, A, D, A, R. So it will known as palindrome string, right? So next we have strupr. This is the next functionality that is shown here. Syntax is shown, like string is written here with the as a parameter. So you can write like this function is used for the to convert a string to the uppercase. If you want lowercase, then you have to write here LWR. Okay, so strupr for the uppercase functionality. So it's very simple, like if you are writing here printf function and enter a string with the help of gets, you are providing the input here and you are printing here enter string in uppercase. Directly you can print here, rather like if it may also possible you are taking another variable and you are storing the resultant value in that of that function in that variable and you are printing that variable here. So both are same. Either you can directly print it or you can print it with the help of another variable here. So strupr str. So it will directly print you the string in the uppercase. So enter a string, there will be a message. You have entered this message here. So what will be the output? Enter string in uppercase is this particular string that you have entered as input. You will get the output as this. So this is a representation that is shown here. So I hope it is clear to all. The next is lower. So lowercase is also simple as like this. You have to write here str lwr for lower also. So it was all about the different functionalities that you can apply in string on string. So character input output functions also that we have already discussed in the formatted and unformatted input outputs. So in unformatted input output functions we have studied like get char functions. It will return like different difference between get char, get che, get ch. Same things come here. Like if we are applying the input output function on the character, then we will use here get along with the get char, get ch and get che. These three are the functions that are used to provide the input in the form of characters. So differences we have already seen, like there is a need to press any enter key, to press any enter key, like any key you can press here, an echo sound will be there in get che, and here no need to press any, like there no any echo sound and no need to press like any enter key here in get ch. Differences we have already discussed. So if you have not seen it in the previous lectures, so just move on in the lecture series unformatted input output lecture and take the recap from here and come back here in order to get the clarity. Okay, so next we have like output functions. So in case of character input function, we have already seen three input function. Same output function get put. In output function we use the put. In input get we used, right? So put char, it is showing the output for the char. If we can use put ch, put ch. So these are the input output functions with respect to the characters. Next we have input output function with respect to the string. So that we have already discussed, like gets function. Gets function, s stands there for the string. S stands for here is string. So input of the string is representing taken by the gets function, and puts function is representing the output of the string. So why we use the gets and puts, get chr, get ch, at the place of scanf and printf, because if we want to work on the string, it's better to use the gets and puts, because the limitation of the scanf we already know. It will not read the continuous string when it will just terminate the output whenever it could get the blank space or white space in between the letters or in between the strings. So because of this limitation, we are using the gets and puts here, right? So this is an example to enter names and to print the names that whatever you have typed here, right? So enter text and press enter key. You have written UIT Rohtak, text you typed is UIT Rohtak. So as it is, whatever you type here as an input, it will print here in the output. So there is no need to write the access specifiers or slash like access specifier. There is no need to write here with the gets and puts. So it was all about the string functions. Last, this is a special note here: null and end of line constant. EOF stands for end of line, end of file. So end of file and null, there is a difference. What it's mean actually, C provides the method of finding the end of string. So header file stadio.h define two constant. First one is null and second is EOF end of file. So you can define, like define is a keyword as like the include that you have used to include the header files. So define is also used in order to give the definition. End of file is represented by -1 and null is 0, right? All the functions except gets return -1 as they read beyond the last character of the string. It is an indication. So and the gets function returning 0, that means null, as it reads across last characters of the string. So that is the difference. Like if they read the beyond the last character of the string, it will return -1, that means end of file. If function returns 0, that means it reads across the last character of the string, that is representing here null. So definition of end of file and null is predefined, so we can use it in our program by writing this statement like define EOF, define null, by providing the definition here. So it was all about the string concept. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the pointers and how we can use the strings and pointers collectively. So we will see these topics in upcoming lectures. So stay tuned with the lectures. Thank you. Have a nice day.